all of my like retro stuff was in a storage unit that got broken into. So all of my old media is gone, which is another reason why I actually stopped buying as many physical games, because that collection was gone. I didn't have as much of a connection to it.
I'm Andrew Culp, author of 5 Reasons You Should Buy the Hard Copy of Games on Nerd Street Gamers. Maybe you buy the digital version because it's more convenient, or you think a physical copy is unnecessary. Maybe you never gave it much thought at all. Well, I think you're wrong. We surveyed fellow gamers with some non-leading questions designed to get a better idea of how they buy their games, because everybody is different.
I buy everything else online. You would think that I could buy a digital game, but I haven't done that.
Growing up, I always appreciated the physical because of mainly the instruction booklets, because again, I like the artwork and things that come with the game. But as time has gone on, that's not really included anymore. So I've kind of shifted towards digital.
So I've actually started purchasing a lot more digital games in the past few years. I used to be a lot more physical media only, but the accessibility for digital media is just so easy.
First of all, a hard copy has resale value. Do people still buy used games? I do. But you know what I like even better than saving money on a used copy? Making money by selling my old games.
When I was younger, I used to buy games and go, oh, I'll just trade this in like a few months later. But at this point in my life, I can afford to not have to do that, so I don't.
You know, most of it was a lot of my games are sports games, and they don't hold any value because no one wants to play NBA Live 98 when it's, already 2021.
I think at some point I did, but like most people, after a while, I realized it wasn't really worth it. There's a store called Classic Game Junkie in PA. I think it's like just outside of Philly, and I've sold multiple items and bought multiple items from them.
You also may come across better deals from shippers in brick and mortar stores than you would from a digital store. Buy 2, get 1 free, 50% off, marked down. Yes, please.
I've definitely spent time browsing through the store thinking about, am I going to buy a digital game? And then I'm just like, nah, I'll just buy it in the store. And I'm not sure why. I think sometimes it's just I feel like I'll get a better deal.
For digital games that I'm unsure of, I usually just wait until they're on sale because there's always sales going on. I also have Xbox Game Pass, so if I'm not 100% sure, I usually check to see if it's on there or if it's on there soon, and then I just play it from there, so that way I don't have to make any purchases that I regret. I think I spent like $100 on the last holiday sale on PSN just because I was like, oh, I don't have this game. Oh, I don't have that game. And I had like 30 games at the end of the day.
Who doesn't love a great collection? I don't have one, but anytime I walk into a room with a library of games, or anything really, movies, music, books, I'm immediately impressed.
So I don't have any collector's editions of games per se, but I do have a lot of the strategy collector's editions of strategy guides and artworks that come along with it. Because that's usually what I appreciate the most as a designer. I really love, especially if it's a franchise that I've kind of grown up with, I love to see how the artwork has evolved.
The main games that I buy collector's editions for are Persona, Zelda, and Final Fantasy. I really like the collector's editions for them because you get a lot of stuff in them. I've been into Persona since Persona 3. So when Persona 5 was coming out, I was like, I need literally everything.
I'm not a good collector. I like to open things and play with them. So, same thing goes with games. If I buy a collector's edition, I buy it because I want to play it. That doesn't mean that they always get opened and used. I'm sure there are video games in this room right now that haven't been opened.
Digital copies can be lost in the cloud or trapped in old hardware that could die. As long as you have the hard copy of the game, you can always find a machine that will play it.
I feel like as a common misconception where people say physical media is forever and it's going to outlive digital media because digital media can just keep coming back. They can re-release it, but physical media has a chance of getting lost or broken.
So it's tricky. It's something that I've gone back and forth on a lot, but with some of the recent developments where some of the digital platforms are shutting down and they may not be available, it's kind of increased, I want to say in the past few months, my appreciation for having those physical copies, because then as long as I have a console, it doesn't matter if the online service is up, I'll always have access to that game.
Digital media does have its downfalls though. If you see the Scott Pilgrim instance where it went offline for 10 years, so you couldn't re-download it even if you did own it. I know that Sony's closing the PS3 and the Vita and PSP stores, but according to PC Mag, you can't purchase anything, but you can still download those games. So they're not gone forever.
My 360 is still plugged in. Why? I haven't touched it in years. I don't know, but it's there, so it's going to be plugged in. I have a shelf worth of Xbox 360 games that, again, haven't been used, but they're there in case I ever want to go back and play one of them. I also have a lot of Kinect games up there. I kept all of my Kinect games because I'm really going to go back and play them. I promise.
Doing research and figuring out what's best for you and what you want to do. I think the biggest thing for me is accessibility and collectability on why I go digital or physical.
I hope that puts things in perspective for you, but did it change your mind? What are your reasons when choosing to buy physical copies over digital and vice versa? Let us know in the comments.